Alrighty, we're live. Welcome to Circle Shenanigans, episode 57. Today we have the Malcolm Monroe the second, aka the DBA. Welcome. How's it going, Mr. Monroe?
Hey, thanks for having me, bro. I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Absolutely,
Doing
absolutely. We're
great.
doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. With us as well, of course, is Lucas
What's up, guys?
and Reese. How's it going?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Brother Paul. So with that being said, we've introduced everyone. Let's get into it a little bit. Um, so tell us a little bit, Mr. Monroe, about how you got into wrestling, where you trained, and who was some of your favorites as you were getting into the industry or growing up.
Man, you want me to go back into the memory bank, huh?
A little bit, a little bit.
No, bro. I was born in the business, man.
Okay.
My dad was Sweet Daddy Malcolm Monroe. You
Oh,
know, he he used to wrestle for the Sheik and with Bobo and all of them. So that's how I got into the business. I was born into it.
okay. Interesting. That's awesome. So did you? I'm assuming you just trained with your father then, or did you train with somebody specific?
No, I trained with my father like at the house, but as the actual trainer, I trained with Fabulous Kangaroo Denny Cass.
Okay. Gotcha. Interesting. Interesting. All right.
So did your dad start XICW?
No, my dad owned Midwest Championship Wrestling and ICW Insane Championship Wrestling, and no, I started XICW on my own.
Okay. And how long have you been running that?
This October it'll be 24 years.
That's awesome.
Wow. Congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
We heard that you're going into the XICW Hall of Fame here soon. Congratulations on that as well. Tell us a little bit on that. How does it feel? Of course, going in. Um, what's one of your favorite memories? I could say, maybe of XICW, and what's one of your biggest accomplishments you'd say for your industry or your company?
Damn, you asked me a lot of questions.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Um, Shit, what was the first part again? I can't remember.
Once again, congratulations! You're going to the Hall of Fame. What's
Oh,
that
Hall of
like?
Fame.
And then, what's one of your biggest accomplishments for your company as a Hall of Famer for you?
Well, being going into the Hall of Fame makes me feel old because I'm not done yet,
Right.
and it's a whole group of the original fun loving criminals that's going into the
Right.
Hall of Fame. You know, the original fun loving criminals, the four of us, Misdemeanor, Jamie Cox, myself, and Truth Martini.
Right.
We started the fun loving criminals like in 2001, 2002, somewhere around there, and it just expanded. So I think they just put me in the Hall of Fame just because I'm an original member.
Okay.
So, but it feels great. I mean, and one of my biggest accomplishments, well, following in my dad's footsteps, and he used to be the Midwest champion, and I won the Midwest title not once but 6 times.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations on that.
That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Could you with the fun loving criminals, could you see, I know you guys are going into XICW Hall of Fame and that, could you see breaking fun loving criminals out again?
Yeah, we have a new younger group. Jamie Cox, well, Mr. Meaner, he passed away a couple of years ago. God rest his soul. You know, Truth Martini has been out of the business for a minute. And Jamie Cox just retired last year, so that left me the last member. So then Jamie Cox gave his spot to my son, Caden, because that's his godson.
Wow.
So once we was the last two members, we just recruited a couple of new members earlier this year. So we got a new, young, upcoming young blood of the fun loving criminals.
Okay.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
Do you have a favorite moment from the fun loving criminals?
Ooh.
Oh man, we had so many moments, bro. We used to like to initiate people. We used to like steal their shoes. like Kamikaze. I don't know if you know him. He's back in the day. What is his wrestling name? Damn, he go by a different name now, but we used to steal his shoes. Um, we used to mock the teams we was going to face. We used to dress like them and mock them way before DX used to do all that funny shit. The Fun Loving Criminals used to do that shit.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
That's
Interesting.
very cool.
That's awesome.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
So this question is for more. So as both the promoter and a wrestler, we've asked about like backstage politics. Have you seen more backstage politics as a wrestler or as a promoter?
Oh,
It got to be as a wrestler.
okay.
Yeah, as a wrestler, I've seen more politics.
Okay. I asked this one to two different people, and I've got different answers before, but this kind of goes like what Reese was saying. As a promoter and a wrestler, what are some of the similarities and differences that you see in being a promoter and a wrestler?
Well, I can't distinguish the difference because, like I said, I was born into the business, so I'm supposed to be doing everything.
Right.
So I can't distinguish the difference between the promoter and the wrestler, really.
Okay. Gotcha. Interesting.
Do you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Sorry, go ahead. I was.
So from with wrestling and both wrestling and promoting, is there one you enjoy over the other, or do you like them both the same?
I just love pro wrestling, bro. So
Okay.
I love them both the same. I just love pro wrestling.
Nice. Well, so a question about wrestling. How did your flaming elbow drop? How did that originate?
Well, my dad used to do the move, the elbow, like he used to do it from the corner with the guy landing in the middle of the ring, and he'd do a diving elbow.
Right.
So me and my dad was sitting around one day, and I told him, I said, Pops, you know how you do the elbow? I just came up with this concept where I set my elbow on fire and hit him with the flaming elbow. And my dad was like, man, you crazy as hell. I was like, I know, but that sounds fresh, though.
100% does.
Yeah.
20-some years later, I'm still doing it.
That's wild.
Has there ever been a moment while doing the flaming elbow drop where you worried about like it getting out of control or anything?
Never. I'm a professional.
Absolutely.
I done it hundreds of times and never had any problems.
That's awesome. That is great.
But I have seen people try it on the internet and set themselves on fire and all of this other stuff. That's because the original person, which is me, knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
100%.
I always love seeing it, video and in person. I remember first time seeing it in person, I was just mesmerized.
Yeah, I have stopped doing it for a while, but then a lot of the promoters, I think I brought it back for one XI show, or it might have been a deathmatch show or something, and people saw it, and then everybody kept wanting the flaming elbow. So,
have you? What's the highest you've ever done the flaming elbow drop? Like elevated, top rope? Have you done it off a ladder?
I've done it off I jumped off a scaffold before. I'm trying to think, did I do the elbow from the scaffold? No, I didn't.
Absolutely.
So the highest flaming elbow will be from the top of the cage.
Oh wow!
Gosh, that's crazy.
That's really cool.
All right, we've known you to wrestle in multiple industries and wrestle multiple people. What's it like, going from your company to other people's companies? And who's one of the biggest upcoming stars that you think you faced most recently?
Oh, the difference between my company and other companies is, I go back to what I originally said. I just love pro wrestling. So
Right.
I love working for other people. Like I said, I just love to wrestle. And That's just in my blood, and I don't care if it's for XICW or Rhino or whoever else I wrestle for. It's just I love pro wrestling. Second part. What was the second part of the question again?
Who is one of the youngest
Up and coming that I just worked. Even though he's been around a couple of years, Adam Wick.
Okay.
I like Adam Wick. He's nice up and comer. Tag team wise, Grim Reality. I'm gonna be biased and say my son, Caden.
Okay.
Even though he's only been wrestling less than a year, but I gotta say my son because I'm his dad.
Right. He's learning from one of the best. So.
And let me see. I like Father Marquise.
Ooh,
that's another one.
Yeah.
Who else have I been in the ring with recently? Young guy. That's all I can think of right now.
Okay, those are great answers, though. 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And over your career, who do you feel you have the best in-ring chemistry with?
Ooh.
Oh man, I had a list of 25 people that I had chemistry with.
Ooh.
Jimmy Jacobs.
Okay, Jimmy Jacobs.
Nate Madsen.
Nate.
I'm trying to think of the ones that y'all probably would know from around here.
Right.
Mr. Insanity. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all know him. Tommy Vendetta is one of the new recent ones. Jack Price. I have good chemistry with him.
That's awesome.
My son, Malcolm Monroe III.
100%.
Dread King Logan.
Dude, yes.
I remember that, Robert.
I do remember that one. That was a fantastic showdown.
And that's all I can think of right now. It's plenty more. Like I said, I had a list of 25 people that I have great in-ring chemistry with. Necro Butcher.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. These are all really great people to be pulling off your list, though. 100%. Absolutely.
I remember the Dread King rivalry, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was brutal, bro. After every match, I was sore. Felt like I got ran over by a car.
Oh man, I bet.
Yeah, I remember seeing clips and video, and I was just like, wow, it was just crazy.
We beat the holy hell out of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
You and Tommy Vendetta as well. You guys really beat each other.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's wild.
One thing I sort of wish is that the Dread King and DBA rivalry carried over to IWR.
Yeah. I wish it would have.
Like sort of like a storyline, sort of, just going across other promotions. No, but that was a really great rivalry, and I mean, you have many great matches with lots of great opponents.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So this is another weird two-parter, and I'm sorry I keep giving two-part questions, basically. The first one is, we've talked to plenty of people, and they all say that there's gimmicks and characters. We all know Malcolm Monroe, of course, the person, and we also all know the DBA. Is the DBA more so the person you are, or would you consider them more of a character / gimmick?
What you see is what you get. DBA is me 247, 365.
All right.
That's me.
All right. Cool.
You can ask anybody on this. I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, I feel I got a kind heart. DBA don't show that. I mean, he do sometimes, but yeah, it's what you see is what you get. That's me.
Okay, awesome. The second part is the DBA has been. I don't know if you've heard it or noticed it, but I've heard a few different times at IWR and other shows that the DBA is referenced as a possible new Jack. How do you feel about people considering you possibly to be like New Jack and to be that, crazy, wild, death type of person in wrestling that people look up to, in a way.
I think people compare me to New Jack is people that only watch TV.
Okay.
Just because we're two black bald-headed dudes don't mean I'm trying to be like New Jack.
Right.
And I have had to school people on this many of times.
Okay.
I started wearing camouflage before New Jack and before the Dudleys.
Okay.
When I wear camouflage because I was in the United States Air Force. And when I got out, I didn't like the green and brown ones. So I started wearing the other color camouflage. Now, when I started wearing that was in 1992.
Oh, wow.
New Jack was wearing black and he was wearing jumpsuits, like the auto mechanic jumpsuits type shit.
Right, right.
And the Dudleys was wearing tie-dye, so,
Yep.
And then for people to say me to be a New Jack ripoff or whatever, they need to go back. And me and New Jack used to be tag team partners.
Right.
We
right.
used to be called the New Gangsters.
Yeah.
So if I was a ripoff of him, why would he tag up with me?
Right.
And I was dressed like that before me and him had started tagging up.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people go with what they see on TV,
Okay.
and yeah, they saw New Jack on TV with camouflage and all of that. So then they see DBA, yeah, he's a New Jack ripoff. But like I said, I've been wearing camouflage back when I was in fucking Desert Storm. So I don't want to hear nothing about me trying to be like somebody.
Okay. Fair enough. There you go.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. I'm glad we got that cleared out.
Yes. Another moniker I've heard, throughout not only at IWR but also just throughout all wrestling is that you're referred to as the most dangerous man in Michigan.
Oh.
So how did that come about?
Back in the day, I was doing death matches before they were called death matches.
Okay.
And one of the commentators or hotline host or whatever for my dad gave me the name The Dangerous One, DBA. And then years later, somebody just turned it into the most dangerous man in Michigan. Because I used to do a lot of crazy, stupid stuff and dangerous stuff. So that's where they came up with the most dangerous man in Michigan.
Is there, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Is there, out of all the dangerous and crazy things you've done, has there been one that stood out above the rest?
Oh, boy.
Not that I could think of, because I try to put all the bad shit out of my memory. So I can't think of one instance that was like, I mean, I had a lot of death-defying moments. So I can't just pinpoint, one. We're talking a 28-year career here.
Yeah. I've seen it, but I've seen it.
I jumped off buildings. I have jumped out of balconies at St. Andrews Hall. I just like to jump off shit.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of you jumping off things, and it's crazy,
Well, I'm too old to do all of that now. So, but back in the day, yeah, I used to like to jump off shit.
Yeah. And I know you really like your barbed wire baseball bat.
Yeah, I like carrying my barbed wire bat around again. But I didn't have that bat for 20. Skull Gans made that bat for me in 2000, I think. So I had that bat 24 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
Still going strong.
Right. Absolutely. We've heard about some of your titles. Currently, you are working with Jeremiah Goldmain at FU Wrestling, and I believe you're a champion for that. And of course, we've got Chip the squirrel. How Chip came about, but how did Chip come about for wrestling? And who would you say is one of your top opponents in FU Wrestling?
Well, Chip, like backstory on Chip. I was a mail carrier, and it was a squirrel that I friended, and I named him Chip, and I put him on Facebook, and everybody fell in love with Chip.
Absolutely.
So Chip and DBA. So yeah, he followed me down the street every day. I fed him and all kind of crazy shit. We had stories, and I made up stuff about me and Chip, and everybody loved it. So Jeremiah loved it also, and he thought I should have a Chip in professional wrestling, and that's
awesome.
how Chip came about.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
So who has been your most toughest opponent in all your matches?
Ooh.
In all my matches, I have been in there with a lot of tough people. I would say Necro Butcher.
Okay.
Rhino. Me and Rhino have had some battles back in the day. King Logan, Dread King Logan. I'm trying to think of who all I feel like I've been in a real fight.
Okay.
Mr. Insanity, matches with him. Those are really the top people that I could think of.
Okay.
Nice.
That's fair. We've seen you with in pictures with plenty of legends such as yourself. Congo Kong, Curtingo, Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, New Jack, like you said. Have you ever given them any advice, or have any of them given you any advice? And if so, what's one of the biggest piece of advice that you have taken away from a legend or a teacher passing it down to you per se?
That's a tough question. Oh
boy, might have stumped him.
Yeah, you did. I'm trying to think.
No, you're good. Take your time. Understandable.
Man, I don't know it. I really haven't given no legend no advice, and they really haven't given me any advice. We normally just talk and shoot the shit.
Right. Fair.
It's never been where, well, you should do this better or you should do that better.
Okay.
I can't think of anything. That's how you got me stumped, because I'm trying to think has it ever happened.
Okay.
And no, legends, I just shoot around and shoot the shit with them, because a lot of people just remember my dad, and we just sit around and talk about my dad and
right.
When I was little and they knew me and this and that, but yeah, it never was no advice or anything.
Okay. That's fair. All right. Well, let me kind of change it up then a little bit. As a legend and a future Hall of Famer, as we said, and somebody who's been in the business for 20 something plus years, what's a good piece of advice you could give to a newcomer, just starting?
See, this is going to be tough. Could be just because it's a generation gap.
Okay.
Because the advice that I would give, but I know this younger generation would not listen.
Right.
Is the advice that was given to me. Oh, that's the advice. Here, go right here.
All right.
Here we go, right here. The advice that was given to me. Number 1. Ears open, mouth shut.
100%.
Yes, sir.
That is it right there. There we go. See, I smoke a lot of weed, so I can't think. My mind is cloudy.
You're good. That's awesome.
That's the number 1 advice that all the veterans in the day gave.
100%. That's awesome.
Ears open, mouth shut. But some of these young guys, and don't get me wrong, I don't know if y'all are part of that or whatever. So, but I'm just saying, for what I have seen, this new generation don't want to listen. They know it all, and because they seen it done on TV, that means that they can do it.
Right.
But I know the business has changed from when I came up. It changed from when my dad was in it. You know, hell, it even changed from when Malcolm started. 14 years ago or whatever.
Right.
So I know the business have changed, but the rules should still stay the same. It still should have the same basic rules,
All
you
right.
know,
Right.
but it doesn't.
Okay.
That's really great advice.
100%. That's the first time I've actually heard that one too. We've heard a lot of different answers. That's wow.
That like coincides with like real life too, not just
100%.
in the
Not
wrestling business.
not just wrestling in general.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Always be open to learning, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But see, a lot of guys, like, if you want to, like, nowadays, you try to critique a young person, and they want to talk back. Well, I did this because of that. All you got to do is just listen. Now, just listen. You ain't got to take everything that the veteran is telling you, but just listen to what they're saying. Don't try to talk over them and defend yourself. Just listen. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. And just listen to what they were saying. You ain't got to be like, this motherfucker was wrong about this, 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 and this, but he was right about this, 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 and this. You can say that later on down the line, you
Right.
know, but a lot of young kids want to try to defend what they're doing. You know, we're like, why you do a super kick right there? You know, and just want to defend it. No, just listen.
100%.
Yes.
100%. I agree right there.
Over your career, I don't know if I've ever asked this question to a guest, but over your career, has there been a moment on the road, like going to a show or anything that's like a wrestling road trip moment that's like stood out, like something weird, crazy happening, just anything?
Bro, let me tell you, back in the day when I first started wrestling, I was working at the post office.
Okay.
So I would get off work on Friday, go wrestle in Buttfuck, Ohio, Friday night, go back to Detroit to go to work Saturday,
Oof.
leave Saturday, drive to Cleveland, no, somewhere else Buttfuck, Ohio,
Oh, no.
and then we'll drive to Cleveland for the Sunday show, and then drive back to go back to my shoot job on Monday. I did that 2 or 3 weekends a month. Now, a lot of these, that's what I'm saying, the business is different now. A lot of these young guys can't do that or won't do that, you know, and that's just the difference in what the business is nowadays.
Right.
But yeah, I did that a lot.
Wow.
Wow.
That's wild.
I can't even
Oh, I
imagine.
don't think I answered your question, did I?
No, you're good. That was great, but
Yeah, you did.
you did. You actually did, because that's crazy, you know. But that's something, you know, that a lot of guys won't do, or a lot of, you know, young wrestlers, guys or girls, won't do nowadays, you know.
That's because I love pro wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You've wrestled plenty of people in plenty of different matches, styles, opponents, multiple things. Is there one match that you wished you could be a part of, or that you would want to have happen with you and somebody else?
I don't know. I always wanted to do like an explosive match because I had talked to my dad about this. Was like I said, this is like my dad been gone for 20 years now. So this is over 20 years ago, and
Wow.
people made it come true. But I always wanted to do with the Ring on Fire match.
Okay.
And that was 20 some years ago, and my dad was like, "You are crazy."
Right.
I was like, I don't think it would never have been done when I had said something to him about it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the craziest matches that I would do. Other than that, I think I'd have done pretty much all the other matches.
Okay.
Light tubes, death matches,
100%.
cage matches,
Yeah.
fans bring the weapons matches. I done them all.
What's the craziest fan weapon that you've used or that you've seen?
I don't know, man, because now I had just got back into deathmatch wrestling like 2 years ago, and now these fans come up with some crazy shit now, man. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the
Oh
Gusser
yeah.
now. I mean, back in the day, I didn't know what no Gusser plate was, you know. So that's something new to me. And fans, like, I think one time a fan had a baseball bat with razor blades taped to it with the razor sides out all over the back.
Jesus.
Like, man, they just think of some crazy stuff.
I know, yeah. Besides that, has there been like a moment with a fan or an interaction with a fan that's just stood out?
Nothing I can really think of that really stands out. I mean, I interact with the fans just about on every show, because I'm an interactive person. So I can't think of nothing that really stands out because I just love the fans and I interact with them anyway.
Yeah.
We see it at IWR every time you come out.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And every time you hit the curtain or just coming out during intermission, you
That's what it
see
is.
people cheering,
Yep.
standing and clapping. They're always singing along to your entrance music too.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I was gonna say, I remember one day we were outside at IWR during intermission and DBA runs out, and that's all you hear is a DBA chant start as he's running to the car or whatever. Like, what's going on over there? I just got to smoke. Calm down, guys. Like, what's happening? That's all you heard is DBA, and he's like, I'm just going to smoke. Hold on. What's happening over there?
They do that in the lines. Like, I'll show up usually like an hour or so before we're supposed to go in.
Right.
And we'll see DBA going towards where the ring is, and DBA did for like a minute.
Crowd taunt going, even though the crowd's not fully there yet.
Yeah.
With them hyping them up. Yep. 100%.
And usually the people who are wrapped around the building who can't see in the window, we just say DBA, just walk by and they all start chanting DBA.
Yep. It's funny. You get the first wave and then everyone's like, what's going on? You tell them and then you get the second wave. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm honored.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're definitely one of the Midwest pillars of wrestling.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, whenever a couple of my friends and I were talking, and they were like, "Who's your favorite Michigan wrestler?" And I was like, "DBA."
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I remember my first time seeing you was 2019 at the first IWR show. That was my very first time seeing you.
At which one? Because I've been with IWR since day one, before it even was named IWR.
Yeah, it was the December IWR show when they did when Billy Gunn came for the first time in 2019.
Wow.
So that was, you fought Benjamin Boone.
Okay.
You still remember the match too? That's crazy.
Damn. You remember the match?
Wow.
Is that the one when Ben Boone broke his hand on my face?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, I was supposed to duck his clothesline, and he punched me in the face and he broke his hand. And I got stitches in my eye.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dang.
Because I remember he was just like really grabbing his hand. People were like, "Oh, it's a work," and I'm like, "No, I think that's real."
Yes, his hand fucking swole up. We got the picture. I posted every year.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
that was your first show.
Yeah, that was my first show seeing the DBA.
Wow. What a hell of a way to start too.
Yeah, and I was
you
like,
meet the guy for the first time, and some dude breaks his hand by punching him.
And my uncle was at the show, and he's like, "What do you think of this guy?" And I'm like, "I like him.
He's cool."
I was like, I gotta see more of it. And
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember I hit the flaming elbow that night too, because I had blood dripping out my eye.
Yeah,
that's crazy and so cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Damn, you said that was December 19?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I know. It feels like yesterday. I was just like going. I was like, man, that was 4 or 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah,
absolutely wild.
I can't remember my first IWR show.
Mine was 2 years ago during the summer. I think June.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't that when I first met you?
I think so.
Yeah, and they kept getting better after that one. I mean, the first one was fire, but they just kept getting better.
100%.
Yeah, IWR put on a great show.
Yeah. Now I'm always like, I'm always waiting for DBA to come out, and then it was so funny at the last show when Madman Fulton fought that younger guy. People are like, "Oh, he's just a little boy. He's just a little boy." Well, then when your music hit, they were like, kick his ass.
Yeah,
DBA.
it went from leave him alone, he's a young guy, to kick his ass or kill him, DBA. And I'm like,
Yeah, they were
wow,
like,
that
"Kill him,
escalated
DBA."
quickly.
Yeah. That was insane.
They went from
And
calm down, madman, to kill him, DBA.
I turned around and I was chanting that too, but then I turned around and I was like, "You're all bloodthirsty."
100%. It all went from poor kid to, you know what? We want more.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild.
It
Yeah,
was.
that was wild. They wanted me to kill that kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was waiting
crazy.
for it. I remember you cut a promo for IWR. It was a couple years ago, and you said you were going to stab somebody.
Oh, I just watched that promo a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
Yeah.
Promo.
Because I remember there was my buddy sent it to me, and he's like, "Did you know that IWR had a warning before that promo?" And I'm like, "What?" And it said like the DBA Malcolm Monroe's beliefs don't coincide with IWR's beliefs.
Oh yeah. Okay. I have seen this one. I do remember this.
Yeah, and I was like, "Wait, what happened?" And I pulled it up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
I do remember that. That's funny.
Send it
and
to
wild, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. That's funny.
That was probably my favorite promo that was ever cut at IWR.
We got about
I like to stab people.
Yeah. But that was awesome.
We're doing great, guys. We're doing great. We've been on for a half hour. It feels longer than that already. We got about 10, 15 more minutes, so we can each ask a few more questions.
All right.
And we can just to get to know a little bit more about you. So I have at least 2 more questions for sure. So I'm gonna ask one of them right now, which is, are there any other accomplishments in your career that you think you want or need to accomplish before you fully retire?
I would want to be a tag team champion with Caden Monroe, my son, because I've done it with Malcolm.
Okay.
You know, it was something growing up. I always said I wanted to do tag matches with my dad, which I did. You know, I wanted to do tag matches with my kids. You know, and with Caden just coming out of the school, we just did a couple of tag matches. You know, so I want us to be. I want to be the only Michigan father who won tag team gold with both of his sons.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd be great to see. Because I remember seeing it when you.
Another accomplishment. I want to become, once again, for the 7th time, the Midwest Heavyweight Champion, which will come true this Saturday, June 8th, when I beat the hell out of both of my sons in a 3-way match.
Oh, let's go.
Yes. That's going to be
There
great.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's pulling it out the pocket and just.
Yes, sir.
Love that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. All righty, Reese, what you got?
Besides your barbed wire baseball bat, has there been another favorite weapon of yours?
Oh yeah, I carry like 2 staple guns. I got a big like sword that I'm not like a sword. It's like a dagger that I carry sometimes. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like to stab people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
it's awesome. It's wild. I would never expected to hear that.
It fits. I remember
I
seeing
got staple guns and a dagger. Oh,
yeah.
Holy hell.
And he says it so calmly too.
Right. That's what shocked me. You know, I just casually carry 2 staple guns and a dagger. Oh. All right.
But I mean, we wouldn't expect any less. That's
no, not at all. 100%. Not at all. I was expecting probably a little more, to be honest, but just the casualty. The casualty caught me. You know, you caught me on a good day. I got 2 staple guns and a dagger.
If not at a future IWR show, you got to break out possibly the dagger at WrestleFest.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My second question, possibly a third one, but my final question, as far as I know right now, who out of all the IWR superstars that you haven't faced yet are you most looking forward to possibly facing?
In IWR.
I know you've faced quite a bit in IWR.
Yeah, I have, but let's see. Been in there with Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of my head, I'm just thinking for some odd reason, Jason Hotch.
Oh,
Why?
Jason Hotch. Jason
I'm wearing
Hotch.
a shirt right now.
Jason. Yep, there it is.
I don't know why though. It's just that's just the first person that popped in my head. I maybe if I want to see if I still got it, because I'm getting up there in age, and I just do all the little flippy shit they do. So maybe that's why I'm thinking Jason Hotch. I don't know, but that's just the first person that came to mind.
DBA versus Jason Hotch for the U.S. title, IWR.
Oh, he the U.S. champ?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's not even why I named him. I didn't even know that. Well, then of course I'm gonna be the new U.S. champion because hashtag DBA wins everything.
Yes, sir.
And they haven't
IWR,
they haven't
DBA,
announced his
Jason
match
Hotch.
yet. I don't think yet. So
They
who
haven't.
knows?
He has not announced his opponent yet. So
yeah, and who knows? It might even be open challenge, and DBA accepts that challenge.
maybe I predicted the future. That'd be pretty cool.
Look,
If not,
DBA to get
I'm
there on
hoping.
time.
Way to find out.
Right.
Way to find out.
I don't know if I predicted the future. I'm hoping I did. If not,
you have a good track record of it too.
That is true. I do.
You do have a good track record.
I do call quite a bit of shows, whether it's WWE or IWR.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, he is very, very good.
Yeah. It's a little scary sometimes how good I am with it.
And for once, I gave you your flowers.
It's true. Thank you.
Now you got to think about betting on this, Keith.
Ooh, interesting. We'll have to possibly do that for the show before IWR. We'll do our predictions video and maybe we'll take a bet.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get the most right and who predicts the most matches.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Oh,
yeah,
it's crazy.
So for my final question, I want to. So I asked this question to a lot of guests. If you could go back and talk to a younger Malcolm Monroe, younger DBA, what would you say to him?
Interesting.
I would say to him, stop being a hard ass. It's not that serious. Have fun and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say you don't have to stab everyone.
Only a few of them. Only a few.
Some people that you're going to stab don't deserve it.
And some of them deserve it more than they've got.
Yeah, and some deserve it more. Well, you should have stuck it in a little deeper.
Oh, yeah. I love that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything else?
I can't. No, I can't think.
I was saying that's just a perfect. That's just a perfect way to end it. To be honest,
that is. That's perfect.
Well, with that being said, actually, I'm Brother Paul. That's Reese. That's Lucas, and of course, our guest, the DBA. Thank you once again,
Thank
Mr.
you so
Monroe.
much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A great time. Hopefully, we can get you on at least one more time, and we'll get to know more about some of the stuff that went down in your wrestling journey and career. I know we kind of rushed today, but it's all right. We can always get another one, and we'll get more depth into it, and get a little bit more, stories possibly, and some more info about how your career went and what you could have possibly done different, or what you still can, or if you would have changed anything like that. Well,
I'm more than welcome to come back, bro. Like I said, I was born into this business, so I got 50 years of knowledge, and I'm here to spread it.
Perfect. That's awesome to hear.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me. I'll see y'all soon.
All righty. Sounds good. And with that being said, everybody, join us next week where we have referee Tango Jones joining us, I believe, live in person.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, 7 p.m. Good night. See you all there.
Have a great night, everyone.